Do dogs really love us, or are they just with us for food and cuddles? Today we reveal what neuroscience says, the signs your dog shows when he truly loves you, and why loyalty runs deeper in dogs than you ever imagined. Stay until the end, because we also talk about cats and one of the most famous stories of loyalty in history. Have you ever wondered if your dog really loves you? You're not alone. This has been one of the biggest questions for animal lovers. Fortunately, several canine and feline behavior researchers have asked themselves the same question and can now resolve the controversy with neuroscience as a tool. Does your dog really love you? Dogs are loyal, obedient, and happy. If you have a puppy or adult dog at home, you already know they show their affection when they wag their tail or lick you. But are they really capable of feeling love for people, or are they just with them for the cuddles and treats? In recent years, there has been much speculation about dogs and their emotions. The truth is, if canines are capable of feeling stress, fear, separation anxiety, stress, or boredom, why should we doubt their capacity for love? Dr. Gregory Berns has tried to answer the question, whether your dog loves you out of self-interest. The answer is in his book, How Dogs Love Us. A neuroscientist and his adopted dog decode the canine brain, and today we'll tell you a little about it. Canine thinking in magnetic resonance imaging. Dr. Gregory Berns is a distinguished neuroscientist at Emory University in Atlanta. Before publishing his flagship book, he spent more than 2 decades studying the canine brain using magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI. The first challenge the university researcher faced during the study was how to get the dogs to cooperate during the brain scan, that is, get them to stay still long enough to capture reliable images. To make the task easier, he built a simulator in his basement. This way, he could train one of the family dogs. The idea was to get his pet used to the scanner so that it would feel relaxed enough to obtain useful images of the canine brain. After many attempts, his dog decided to cooperate. In a second phase, he used the same training on 90 different dogs. This gave him a solid enough foundation to draw useful conclusions. All the dogs responded positively to the training. Before Berns's study, the scientific world was intensely debating the origin of canine displays of affection. Researcher and veterinarian Fred Metzger, a collaborator at the University of Pennsylvania, was among those skeptical of dog love. The canine love experiment in detail. Berns' experiment focused on comparing dogs' brain reactions to different stimuli. In some cases, he used food and treats as positive stimuli. In others, he used praise and cuddles. During the experiment, most of the dogs had the same response in both cases, that is, to praise and food. 20% of them even showed a more effusive response to praise. The study also concluded that dogs not only identify human faces as important to them, but are also born with the predisposition to focus on their faces to increase interspecies communication. This study concludes that dogs love their owners for their cuddles and displays of affection as much as, or more than, the food they receive. Since the first dog decided to collaborate with Berns' research, the doors were open to obtaining irrefutable evidence of canine love. How to recognize your dog's displays of affection. Dogs adapt very well to family life. In addition to being able to demonstrate their affection effusively, dogs understand their owner's displays of love and act to let them know that it is reciprocated. What does your dog do to show you that he loves you? He licks you to express his joy. He wags his tail when you speak to him or look at him. He greets you enthusiastically when you come home. He waits for you to play with his favorite toys. He protects, cares for, and comforts you at all times. He chases you and wants to participate in all your activities. The dog looks at you and feels relaxed enough to smile. You get the impression that your dog seems to be listening to you attentively. He sleeps next to you because, to him, you are a source of warmth and security. He chases your scent. He likes to lie down or sleep in areas impregnated with your scent. As you can see, you only need to pay a little attention to determine that your dog truly loves you. If he does one or more of these things, his connection with you is very special. If you take your dog out for walks often enough, you've also noticed that he seems to introduce you to other people or animals. When he does this, he's sending you a sign of love. This shows you that he's proud of you and his relationship with you. He's practically shouting to the world that you're his favorite human. What about cats? Kittens' displays of affection. While it's true that cats are independent and less effusive animals, at least compared to dogs, they also know how to show their love. Their signs of affection may be more subtle, but they are just as meaningful and powerful. They nibble you gently. They look at you and blink slowly. They rub their head against your body. They jump up to lie on your lap. They lick you lightly between your toes. They seem to knead your body with their paws. They purr intensely for you to pick them up. Sometimes, they bring you a treat after their daily walks, a leaf, an insect, etc. Have you noticed your cat wagging its tail? While it may be used to balance, jump, hunt, think, or concentrate, it's also a way of letting you know they love you. Sometimes they may even follow you everywhere. Typically, kitties lift their tails and twitch the tip slightly as a sign of affection. If they also approach you, flaunting their charm and nuzzling their head between your legs, they're sending an unequivocal sign of love. There's no denying that one of the most distinctive traits of dogs is their loyalty. This loyalty can be overwhelming and humbling. In this sense, we humans have a lot to learn from dogs. But where does your dog's loyalty come from? Yes, you feed them and play with them and love them with all your heart, but does that explain what you mean to them? In this article, we explore loyal dogs, why dogs are loyal, and when that loyalty needs to be curbed. Are dogs really loyal? Dog loyalty is taken for granted in the media and advertising, as well as in today's general culture. But are dogs really that loyal? Yes, they really are. Stories of dogs waiting forever for their owners, or being happy to greet them years later, aren't made up. You can see this from your own dog, who is delighted when you come home and greets you as if he hasn't seen you in weeks. If that's not loyalty from your dog, what is? So, what makes a dog loyal? There are several theories about the origins of your dog's loyalty and why it runs so deep. Here we'll look at some of the explanations, ordered from simplest to most complex. The basic explanation: because you give them food. The simplest explanation for your dog's loyalty is that you give them food and a home. Your dog is grateful because their basic needs are met and, therefore, they are loyal to you. There is a scientific basis for this. Domestic dogs descend from wolves, which humans once took in and tamed with shelter and food in exchange for acting as guard dogs. This reciprocal relationship remains in your dog's genes, and their loyalty is a byproduct of it. Of course, this would mean that loyal dogs adore anyone who feeds them. This is also largely true, as dogs tend to become more attached to the family member who gives them food. But it's not the only explanation. Seeking answers in canine psychology, dogs are pack animals. Dogs are also pack animals and want to belong to one. They're very similar to humans in that sense. It's said that no human is an island, and the same can be said for a dog. For your loyal dog, your family is their pack, and they've adopted you as their own. Loyalty in a pack is crucial. For a pack to survive in the wild, its members must work together to overcome dangers. Trust, cooperation, and putting the pack's interests first are natural parts of survival. This would explain why dogs often put their own lives in danger to protect their owners. Their pack instincts demand it. But that can't explain everything. After all, your dog still loves you when you return from a long vacation, and you haven't been the one feeding them during that time. And what about the case of Hachiko, the loyal dog who waited for his owner at the train station every day after work and, after his owner's death, continued to wait for him for 9 years? Neither pack instincts nor reciprocal relationships can explain it. But something else might. Does your dog show any of these signs of love? Tell us in the comments, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss more fascinating stories about your pets.